Chiefs Kingdom, buckle up. The trade deadline buzz just cranked to an 11 because a veteran running back with over 7,000 career rushing yards is being linked to Kansas City. A true workhorse. A proven closer. The kind of back who turns 4-yard runs into 8 and bleeds the clock in December like it's his day job. If the Chiefs pull this off, it's not just a depth move. It's a philosophical shift right as the weather turns cold and the playoff race tightens. Today we're breaking down what this rumor means, how it would reshape the offense, and where it places Kansas City in the AFC arms race. While we dive in, smash that subscribe button and help us push to 5,000 subs here on Kansas City Chiefs Today. Let's set the stage. The Chiefs have been leaning on Isaiah Pacheco's energy, vision, and violent finish. He's the heartbeat of the ground game, and the staff trusts him in all situations. But the calendar is turning to the stretch that defines seasons, and the hits add up. One more reliable bell cow, someone used to carrying an offense for years, changes the math on every drive. A 7,000-yard resume doesn't happen by accident. That number means durability, contact balance, and the ability to create when the blocking isn't picture perfect. It usually means leadership in the huddle and maturity in the film room. It means 3rd and 2 confidence and 4th quarter answers. We've seen this movie before around the league. Contenders rent a veteran back at the deadline and immediately unlock new personnel groupings. Suddenly the screen game looks meaner. The play action feels heavier. The safeties hesitate for a half beat, and that half beat is all number 15 needs to throw a dart over the top. Kansas City's front office never sits still. They look for value, and the deadline is where value hides. Maybe the price is a late-round pick that can escalate with incentives. Maybe it's a contract that a team wants off the books before free agency. The key is fit, how the skill set complements Pacheco and keeps opposing coordinators guessing on early downs and in the red zone. Let's talk about what a move like this actually does on Sundays. First, it changes the complexion of first down. The Chiefs can shift from RPO first to a more balanced under-center attack when they want to dictate tempo. A veteran back who has seen every front allows Reid to call gap schemes, wide zone, and duo with equal confidence. That variety forces a defense to play honest. Second, it supercharges short yardage. In playoff football, inches swing games. A back who knows how to get skinny through a crease, feel the push, and fall forward turns 3rd and 1 into automatic. That matters in Arrowhead Wind, when kicking is dicey and you're milking a lead against an AFC heavyweight that doesn't go away. Third, pass protection. This might be the sneakiest part of the entire conversation. The Chiefs trust their backs in protection, but there's a different calm when you know the guy next to you has spent years IDing blitzes. Veteran eyes pick up simulated pressures and green dogs. That extra half second is the difference between a check down for 6 and a shot play to a tight end streaking down the seam. Fourth, the screen and outlet game. We all know the Chiefs' screen timing is a rhythm instrument. A seasoned runner with patience and a feel for convoy angles brings it back to symphony level. When defenses are bracketing receivers and forcing the ball underneath, a back who can catch, pivot, and rumble through arm tackles is your answer key. Fifth, load management for Pacheco. This isn't about taking the ball away from Isaiah. It's about keeping him as a guided missile into January. 10 fewer high collision snaps in a given week can be the secret sauce that keeps his legs fresh for the final 2 minutes of a divisional round game. Fresh legs win playoff football. Sixth, red zone multiplicity. The Chiefs already stress teams with condensed splits and misdirection. Pair that with a downhill runner who thrives in tight quarters and you force linebackers to step up hard. That opens the back of the end zone for snag routes, leak plays, and shovel counters that make defensive coordinators slam headsets. And finally, culture. A veteran with real pelts on the wall walks into the room and sets a tone for the youngest players at the position. The drills get sharper. The questions in meetings get smarter. The group takes on an edge. That stuff shows up when it's 9 degrees and you're backed up near your own goal line with the season on the line. How would Andy Reid and Matt Nagy deploy this in the lab? Start with personnel. We'd see more 2-back looks in the red zone and in 4-minute offense, with Pacheco and the veteran on the field together. Pony sets let you motion one back out to widen the apex defender and create leverage for ISO runs. You can also bluff the orbit motion and hand the ball inside for downhill violence. Expect more under center on early downs. That invites heavier boxes, which is exactly the bait for intermediate play action to Travis Kelce and the receivers on glance routes. With a credible grinder in the backfield, you can ask the offensive line to fire off and set a physical tone before shifting back to the spread concepts on second and short. Staying on schedule is the entire mission. The Chiefs will dust off duo when they want vertical push and run tight to the double teams, then toggle to wide zone to stress the edges and test pursuit. The veteran's track record suggests he can marry footwork to both families of runs, which keeps the call sheet wide open. In cold weather games, that's gold. Screens, swings, and angle routes will become primers for bigger explosives. Put the veteran into short motion, stack him behind a receiver, and run a delayed screen into a vacated flat. If safeties cheat, tag a pump and rip a crosser. This is how you punish single high looks without asking Mahomes to be a magician every snap. Short yardage gets its own package. Heavy personnel, an extra lineman, and Kelce tight to the formation's selling arc release. Hand it off behind a down-blocking wall or pull the guard and tackle to blow open a spill lane. If the defense pinches, leak Kelce or a back into the flat and let the celebration get loud. And don't forget 2-minute. In hurry up, a veteran back who knows when to get out of bounds and when to cut inside a block saves precious seconds. A quick outlet on a Texas route forces linebackers to pick their poison and helps Mahomes play point guard without taking hits. Let's talk vibes. Fans are split whenever a big-name runner enters the chat. One side is all in on star power, the idea of pairing Mahomes with a closer who can end games with 1,000 paper cuts. The other side worries about age, mileage, and the cost of the rental. Both views make sense, because the running back market can be volatile and tread is real. Local media will hammer the price point. If the compensation stays team-friendly, think a late pick with escalators tied to playoff usage. This is the classic win-now maneuver that doesn't mortgage the future. If the number creeps higher, expect pushback about positional value and long-term cap flexibility. The front office has earned benefit of the doubt, but scrutiny comes with rings. Inside the locker room, this would land well. Pacheco is a competitor, iron sharpens iron. Bringing in another pros pro gives the room mentorship and a fresh set of eyes on tape. It also pushes everybody through November when bodies bark and routines can get stale. A hungry vet chasing a ring often becomes the glue guy fans don't see but players rave about. And for the wider NFL discourse, the narrative writes itself. Kansas City sees a lane to take pressure off Mahomes and build a weatherproof offense that travels. Opponents feel that, because the worst kind of Chiefs team is the one that wins games playing left-handed when needed. Zooming out, what does this do to the AFC bracket? Against the physical fronts you meet in January, a reliable run game steals possessions and keeps the pass rush honest. The Ravens, Bengals, Bills, and Dolphins all want you to get one-dimensional. A veteran back helps you avoid that trap and makes third and medium feel like you're down instead of theirs. Inside the division, it's about finishing drives. The Chargers can score in bunches when they're hot. The Raiders want to muddy the game and live in the fourth quarter. The Broncos, in cold weather, turn every blade of grass into a knife fight. A bruising closer tilts those margins and squeezes the clock right out of their hands at Arrowhead and on the road. So where do I land? If the price is reasonable and the medicals check, this is a yes from me. The Chiefs don't need to change who they are, they need one more club in the bag for the rounds that matter most. A veteran back with 7,000 career yards doesn't require projection. He has tape. He has scars. He has proof that he can carry a late-game script like a metronome. It also raises the ceiling for everyone else. Pacheco stays explosive. The line gets to fire off downhill. Mahomes gets cleaner pockets and more bite on play action. Kelce sees middle field defenders take one step toward the line of scrimmage, and that's all he needs. The ripple effects echo through every room in the building. And if it doesn't happen, no panic. The Chiefs have won in different shapes for years. But the margin for error in the AFC is thin, and ring chases reward teams that find edges. This move would be an edge with post-season fingerprints all over it. That's going to do it for today's video on Kansas City Chiefs today. I want to hear from you. Would you pull the trigger on a trade for a veteran 7,000-yard running back? Or would you roll with the current room and keep the picks? Which traits matter most for the stretch run? Power, pass pro, or receiving? Drop your takes in the comments and join the road to 5,000 subs here on Kansas City Chiefs today.